Just looking how far I've come, I would have to go 10 times as far for it to finally, occur. So, but, we have no other options. So that's what I do. I get on social media. I expose myself. I tell stories that I wouldn't tell you if I wasn't in need of your help. I'm just being honest. And most likely you wouldn't either. Um, or, besides that, I would tell my story just so, the others that are coming behind me wouldn't feel so alone. Because I felt very alone, like depressed, almost to the point where you just want to let go. You want to let go because you don't feel there's any fixing this situation. So I've given up my cover. Okay, so we are on 5, 6. Okay, 6. The life you want to live. I have given up the life that I wanted to live. I didn't feel like when I was growing up that I wanted too much out of life. I only wanted this much. Like, I just want my family. Like, I just want my husband. That is nothing. You know how many people I see walking around with their husbands? You know how many people I see with families? I just wanted my family. That was it. I never aspired. I'm going to be honest with you. I never aspired for a house. If you gave me a house, what would I do with the house? A house is for a family. I have no family to put in the house. It would be me. Like, why would I want a house? I don't want a house. I'm not a person that's wrapped up into material things. So fancy cars, I never cared about a fancy car because I just need a car to drive me from here to there. Who cares? Fancy clothes, I've never been into that. I just wanted my family. I just wanted to get up, wake up to my husband, cook him dinner, cooking him dinner. Well, possibly because I used to work overnight. Cook him breakfast, him cook me breakfast. We ironing his clothes, doing certain things for him, sitting back watching TV with him, laughing like we used to, joking, taking walks, going to the beach, um, hanging out, helping our daughter together with homework, doing, and that gets me into the life I wanted to lead, the way I wanted to raise my daughter, our daughter. I didn't want to raise her alone. I wanted to raise her with my husband. I wanted to be able to, when she had problems, talk to her together with both parents in the same room and not through visitation where guards are just looking over your shoulder when you're trying to handle regular family business and they're accusing you of all kinds of things. And it's not even that situation. You're just trying to be a family. That's your family time. But they're invading on your family time. Um, I didn't want to, like, I wanted to, first day of school, take her to school with Marcello. Me and, if you watched any of my videos, you know how I talk about before Money was even born, our daughter Money, before she was born, Marcello and I had already discussed her prom, her graduation, her, all of those things, which all of those things he missed. He missed everything in her life from first step, first word, to high school graduation, and next year he's scheduled to miss her college graduation because he has about 17 more years. He missed her life. That is nowhere near the life that I wanted for 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 me, for us, for our daughter. That's not the life I wanted. I didn't want her to go to school and can't focus on school because she's crying because she missed her father. In school, she should have been playing with the kids and having fun in the type of childhood I had, making mud pies and hiking and making a pile of leaves and jumping in the leaves and stuff like that. My child couldn't grow up like that because she was in depression herself behind missing someone that should have been in her life. He was supposed to be there. There's no reason he shouldn't have been there. And that is not the life that I wanted. Let me see, before I get to that, is this on another? Yeah, it's on another one. So I'm gonna have to hold off on that. But that's not the life that I wanted for us. The ideal life would have been simple. I always just wanted a job that didn't hurt me. Over the course of all these years, I've become disabled. Um, Many disabilities, legally blind, carpal tunnel, arthritis in my neck, so many, so on, so on, so on. So every day is pain and stuff like that. So I just wanted a job that didn't hurt me to go to work, that I can do without re-injuring and further injuring myself. That wasn't too difficult. Most likely I wanted to be in the art field because that's what I love. Anything with art, anything creative. That's all. Make my living on for what I love to do. Have my husband, have my child or children. And that was it. I didn't need no more. And I didn't want no less. So now we're going to get into number 7. I had to give up having a physical man in my life. Me and Marcello, we have never left. I have never left his side from the time he went off on his prison sentence to present day, 20 years later. I have been there. I have been drugged through the mud right behind him. All the things they put him through, I'm attached to it and going through it as well. I fight. I can't even remember one day over these 20 years that I wasn't working on some project to try to get him home. I can't even tell you that day because it's always been the main focus driving in my life is how to get my husband back home. So we've maintained a relationship. It's been a point where he was, closer to home and I could visit every week. But really, you give up having a physical man in your life. There are certain things that it's just nothing can replace that. You want that man there. I wanted him to be able to hold me when I cry. Like when my mother passed, like I had to hug him in a prison setting. And the guards are like, hey, you can't do that. Hey, you're hugging too long. Like, why did I have to go through my mother's death alone? That's, and I have a husband, but I have to go through that alone. You want your husband there for financial support. Like he's the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner in our family. I shouldn't have had to work 2 and 3 and going to school and never sleeping and till I'm about to lose my mind. That should not have happened. I didn't deserve that. Our daughter didn't deserve that. And Marcello didn't deserve to give the state of Florida 20 years for something he didn't do. So, I just want my husband. God, I just want him. It's no replacing your husband being there with you. That feeling. And most of the people that tell me, you can look at them. Most of them, they have their husbands. So they'll tell you all day long that, so that ain't nothing, move on. Just because that you have that. So you can say, and a lot of times it's because you're taking for granted what you have and not seeing it for what it is. It's a lot. It's a blessing to have your husband in the household with you. Just know that it's so many people that wish and pray and hope and daydream about it and can't have that. So you give up that physical touch. You giving up him being there, him holding you, him everything. It's gone. It's not there. A lot of women in that sense, they find those things somewhere else, but that would be superficial. I want my husband. I don't want another man. I want him. Like, there's not another Marcello Jackson, and Marcello Jackson, I feel in the bottom of my soul that he was born to be with me. I was born to be with him. So I go through this with him because, I mean, it's almost like that Gladys Knight song, I'd rather live in his world. This is his world than to live without him in mind. So I had to give that up. So we are at physical man. So number one, state of Florida, not all places. State of Florida, nothing for the family. We ain't got no type of family program, nothing to keep family bonds together. And we do not have conjugal visits. None. Nothing. Like, if you're married to an incarcerated man, ain't too much going on in that department, in the sex department. So number 8 is sex. None of that's happening. Like, you're giving that up. I've given that up for years. Like years, girl. Had to cut the lights off for that. Years. I want my husband. Like, girl, I want my husband. I want my husband. And that's all that I can say on that. Like, for real. So we are going to go to number 9. So what does sex lead to? Kids. I love kids. If you know me in person, and even if you've been watching any of my videos, I have everybody's kid around me. Like, I love kids and kids love me. I don't know. Babies would just look at me and just fall in love. They would, like, I don't know if angels dance around my head or what. I have no idea. But these kids fall in love with me, and I love kids. I hate to see kids hurting. I hate to see kids wanting. I don't, like, I have a soft spot for kids. And I didn't just want one child. I wanted a big family. I come from a big family, and I wanted several kids. I mean, at least 2. But by my husband being in prison, Florida has no conjugal visits. He's been there for 20 years, so I have no more kids. And I'm 40. So I am at the place where I have to accept that I may never have any more kids. I started, because, I mean, if he came home tomorrow, but it's not looking like that, I can't get nothing to move. I can't get the support I need. So we're looking at leaning towards he's doing them 17 more years on his wrongful conviction. And in 17 more years, I will be 57. And I'm sure no kids are coming out of this baby making factory at that point. So it's pretty much off the table for more kids. Though that would have been something I would have enjoyed. I thought about one day adopting, but I would have to be in complete, like, much better frame of mind. I can't be fighting a wrongful conviction and going through all the depressing stuff that you go through with this and raising another child. I just want my husband to come home and just move on with life, like, for real. So I just have to be everyone's auntie. I have my child, though. I have to be grateful for her. She's a great, wonderful, became a great, wonderful woman. And despite all the things she's been through, She turned out better than better than I could have asked for. Number one, you always want your children to do better than you. And she far surpassed her father and her mother. So, but I wanted more kids. And I still want them, but I have to let it go. Have to let it go. Yeah. So we're almost done with my list. So that was number 9. So number 10. Did I write a number 10? Oh, I did. I did write a number 10. So for me, dealing with this injustice system, it feels like I have given up my sanity. Dealing with my husband being incarcerated, being with an incarcerated man, I have given up my sanity, my peace of mind, my joy, if you could relate to me, please give me some comments on the feelings that it drives you crazy being a prison wife. It's lonely. It's depressing. It's and people would say, well, why would you go through it? Because that's the person you love. Not that fake love, that love. It takes love to do this. So when you marry somebody, it's for better or worse. And this is definitely worse. Like, I guess it can get worse than this, but this is bad. This is bad. So I got to hard down be in love with him to have stayed through this. But I'm going to tell you, it drives you crazy. It drives you crazy when you know he's innocent and you can't help him. Ain't nothing you could do but send him money for more food. Food that's going to freaking ultimately lead to all types of problems. Because it ain't even real food. It's packaged. It's processed. But he has to eat it to stay alive. Eating garbage to stay alive. But you have to constantly deal back and forth with these facilities. Guards walking on them like they're nothing, treating them like they're lower than the scum under their boots, like they're not even human. And you have to try to console them after they've been just downgraded and made to feel like nothing. You have to try to get them to calm down when you're completely being disrespected. Just stay calm. Just stay calm. Just bite your tongue. Can you do that? If people are disrespecting you out here in the street, can you just calm down and just bite your tongue? How do you, it's so much insane stuff that you deal with. And then legally, the legal, it doesn't move. The hands of justice don't move. They stay and they're stuck. They stay in one spot. You fight year after year after year, and they stay in one spot. That drives you insane. So for me, I have lost a lot of my composure. Baby, this is no joke. So hopefully this video didn't scare you too much, but I'm just trying to be real. Like, at this point, monetization off the table. My husband's story breaking is off the table because that ain't happening. I'm just being real with you. Baby girl, please think about this. Think about I mean, don't think about it in the span of today, unless he has only like a year, 5 years. I would even say 10 years. 10 years is a short sentence to me. Honestly, at this point, I would hope and wished and prayed that he had only 15 years, 17 years, 20 years. At this point, anything but 40, what he has. So if you really can't go this long, far, lonely, dark road with him, just think about it. Because the last thing you want to do is be a 20-year-old entering this lifestyle and being 40 and still there. It's sad. It is sad. But I'll fight again tomorrow because I love that man. All right, guys, my long video is over. Anyway, so if you would like to support me, like, share, subscribe, follow me wherever I go, over YouTube, social media. I don't know what I'm doing at this moment. Oh, I do have to let you know, I did have a little bit of good news, but it kind of, when I have good things happen, they kind of don't come into full completion. But the rapper Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, he's seen my, I can link that in the description box as well. I was rapping his verse, and then I drew him for something I call Project Reach the World, which that's how I've been trying to get my husband's story out and around the world, to by giving it to famous people and who's who or whatever. I draw them a picture. I write my husband's story of how he was wrongfully convicted, hoping that one day that they enjoyed the artwork off rip, but hoping one day they would dig further and see that I am actually doing the art for a reason, and it is to tell my husband's story, whether it be through music, whether it be through storybooks, whether it be through my rap, whether it be through whatever. I am trying to tell his story. I want him home. Please. But Willie D actually, he seen it. I rapped his verse, and I don't think he quite knew that I was the same person, because I did a TikTok duo with myself. So I had a video where I drew him, and it was me rapping his verse, and then I have a duo where you see me rapping. So he was like, but that person in the background is getting it, got the art skills. And then they were commenting on, oh my goodness, like, that rap that she spit, like, she embodied you. Like, how in the world did she spit that like you spit that? So, baby, this is the first time that a famous person has ever heard me rap. Like, I have gotten my music to so many different people. Actually, I'm going to say the second time, because Tom Joyner, I did get to rap on his Sky show, but that's not really a hip hop, air, like, they're not really hip hop, they were R&B, so they didn't quite understand what I was saying. But this is the first time that a famous person actually heard me rap. Yes. So that is big. And I had got off of work, tired as ever, got straight on my YouTube, trying to check my analytics, this, and that. And somebody reached out to me on my Instagram and said, girl, Willie D is looking for you. I'm like, Willie D looking for me? For me, girl? For me? And she was for real. I looked on his Instagram. He had reposted my TikTok video. So right now I'm trying to get the process, because he has said, y'all go find her. Like, this girl is good. Like, for real, find her. So basically, I guess that's how she found me on my Instagram. So I got a lot of people in the comments. They was like, dude, this is her, putting at Cadillac, that's her. And he hasn't responded back yet. So I don't know his comments. He probably can't read through all those comments. So some kind of way I gotta find, how can I respond back and get his attention that, hey, I was the one that drew the picture. Project Reach the World. But anyways, it's your girl Cadillac.